Okay, this is part 3 of the 4L60E/700R4 transmission rebuild. Here I am gonna take apart the pump. In this video I'm not going to take out the valves of the pump. That will be next video. But I'm gonna take out this big O-ring going around the whole pump. And remove the 5 bolts holding the pump, 2 pump heads together. And there's a really strong spring holding the pump rotor assembly. And just put a rag over it so the spring doesn't go flying in your face, because it's kind of scary when you're prying at it. Oh, it's actually 2 springs. I forgot about that. It's 2 springs. So next I'm just going to remove the whole rotor assembly, the outside ring and the pivot pin. And just inspect everything, inspect all the vanes in the rotor and the surfaces. Kind of dropped all the vanes there. There we go. So we're gonna kick it into fast motion here for a little bit while I pick up all these vanes. That's V-A-N-E-S, vanes. Like a vane pump. There we go, this is 10 of them. Alright, so here, just look inside the outside servo and make sure that this hole is open and able to have fluid flowing. Okay, so now I'm measuring the pinion gear free play, and the spec is right there. It's 25 thousandths of an inch. Here I picked a feeler gauge that was too small, that was 15 thousandths. So I kicked it up to 20 thousandths. And it didn't, as long as 20 thousandths doesn't fit in any of the clearances, then that's good. Then I know I'm within spec, because the spec is 25 thousandths. So just go to all 4, the feeler gauge, and you don't need to know the exact clearance as long as it's within spec. Here, just air check all the oil passages of the case. I accidentally blew out the Valvebody filter. Forgot it was there. So there we go. Just go around the whole case and air check all the passages. Now there's one passage in here that you won't hear air go through when I get towards the left side, and that's because yes, that one. That's because that's plugged from the outside. That's where you tap into the transmission. So it's plugged because the bolt is still inside. Okay, so now we're at the valve body, taking out all the valves. There's a lot of them. Alright, so first we're starting with the forward accumulator. There's 3 bolts. This thing is under spring pressure, so be mindful of that. All these are the same length. Take out the cover, the spring, the pin. I found some goop in there that I'm going to have to clean out. Spring, the pin, and the piston. Take all them out. Put it aside for later. There's you're going to see me grab this smaller spring next to it. There's valves under that I forgot to get to until the end. We're going to just remember that. There's valves right there we're going to get to by the accumulator. But I'm going to start taking out the 1-2 shift valve and spring that's next to it. It's a 1-2 shift valve. And there's the spring. Let's put them aside and put them in a way such that it makes sense of how you're taking them out, so you don't get confused. I mean, you should have the factory service manual. That's a must. Next is the 2-3 shift valve and shuttle valve. Just you know, shake it, take a screwdriver and sort of move the valves, but be careful not to mar up the valve body, because even a little burr will cause the valves to stick. So don't use anything sharp or anything. Be mindful of that. Alright, so next we're taking out the 1-2 accumulator valve sleeve. It's held in by a pin I just took out. Inside the valve sleeve there is another valve and a spring. You're going to see in a second when I take it out. This one was kind of annoying to take out. So, but I cut out all my trebles. There it is. There's the sleeve. And it has a spring and another valve inside of it, which you're going to see in a second. I'm going to kind of take it apart here. Not really take it apart, but, well, kind of. There we go, you see that? Okay, next, and you see all these, oh, that kind of flew out of me, you gotta be careful. The things are under spring pressure. All these are all the bores are plugged. These are all plugs I'm taking out. See, and they have clips. And I always put the clips back on the bore. This is the actuator, feed limit valve, and spring. Next, remove the manual valve. This valve is the valve that moves when you shift gears from inside the car. Biggest one there is. Okay, pry out that pin for the bore plug. Put the pin back on the bore plug so you don't lose it. And this is the 3-2 control valve and springs. Go. And next is the 3-2 downshift valve and spring and the reverse abuse valve. Abuse valves are for if you rev the engine real high and the transmission is going to shift gears. The valve allows fluid to flow more quickly, so it can grab the gear quicker and doesn't slip when it's applied. Okay, next is the 3-4 shift valve and spring. Prying out that. As you can see now, I put up my thumb over all the bore plugs so they don't go flying out. Go. Next is regulator apply valve and spring and the isolator valve. A lot of valves, guys. Go. Next, 3-4 relay valve and 4-3 sequence valve plus springs. Keep all these in track. Again, if you have the service manual, you should be okay. There we go. And this is the one that I said I forgot in the beginning. This one was by the forward accumulator. This is the low overrun valve and spring, and the forward abuse valve. That's another abuse valve. This one is for forward, not for reverse. There we go. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Go to part 4.